It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and in this video I want to talk about why you should not max out your Nova, your water titan of marksmanship or stunna or whatever you want to call her, one of the most beloved titans in all of Hero Wars Dominion era. I'm just going to show you real quick what I'm dealing with. You can see that my Nova is level 100. Why? Why is my Nova level 100? Well, first of all, let's talk briefly about Nova. Water Titan, like I mentioned, she is a marksman middle line. She has one ability, North Wind. This does damage and stuns the enemy backline for 4 seconds. And the first thing that I want to shout out is this ability is not modified by level whatsoever. You can see that it is modified by stats. 50% attack is affecting the damage output, but the stun portion isn't impacted by level. And what am I talking about here? If you take a look at some heroes in Hero Wars, like for example Kark throws into the air 3 enemies with the lowest health. When the affected enemies fall back down, they get stunned. Chance to stun is lowered if the target's level is above level 130. The idea behind that white line at the bottom there is that if your level isn't equal to the enemy's level, then your ability to control that enemy via a stun or anything else is lessened, okay? Now, obviously, if you're level 130 and the enemy is level 130, then you have a 100% chance. But if you take a look at some other heroes that have control effects, they all have this line item. Fox, chance to blind lowered if the target's level is above level 130. Chance to inflict an effect is lowered if the target's level is above 130. So looking back at Nova's ability North Wind, we can see that that line isn't there, and that's very important. So a level 1 Nova has just as much of a chance to stun an enemy team as a level 120 does. First, I want to talk about how energy works. Generally speaking, heroes and titans gain energy the same way, though a little bit different. You can see here that basic attacks and skills, titans gain 20% energy. So when Nova uses her ability or does a basic attack, she gains 20% energy. Heroes gain 10%. Losing health in battle, every 1% a hero loses, he gains 10 energy or 1%. Every damage that a titan tanks, it's 0.5 or 5 energy. That's actually equal, and the 30 and 30 is equal as well. Titans gain energy. That's the whole point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Just taking a look at the way things are, you got the enemy team gaining energy, my team is gaining energy. You guys get the idea. This is not a new concept to Hero Wars, either hero fighting or titan fighting. Now, the important note comes in with this line right here. Losing health or dodging, you gain energy. And it's based on a percentage, okay? It's based on a percentage. And I'm sorry about the math, but we're gonna have to do a little bit of math here. If a hero has 1,000 health and they take 100 damage, that's 10% of their total health, right? So they gain 10% energy. If a hero has 2,000 health and they take 100 damage, they only gain 5% energy. 100 is 5% of 200. So if a titan's health is lower, then they gain energy faster by receiving damage. Does that make sense? This is an eternal debate that we have whenever we're talking about damage dealers in Hero Wars, is over leveling their health skin. We talk about this constantly. It's a big problem to do with the energy mechanic in this game. Fortunately, it's a small portion of the way heroes gain energy, and it really doesn't matter that much because of the variety of opportunities you have, and I'll spend some time discussing that point in just a second. If we go back and take a look at our girl Nova, there aren't many ways to modify Nova's health. You can see that she doesn't have a health skin. She doesn't have health glyphs. She doesn't have items to equip that increase or decrease her health. Her artifacts don't modify her health, aside from this attack skill right here, which is worth considering, but it does lower her attack as well, which is kind of a problem. If it was just a straight health glyph or health skin, then maybe you would consider a little bit more. The main way to keep her health lower is by keeping her level lower. So the idea, guys, is you keep Nova's health low, so she will use her ultimate ability earlier in a fight, causing that line stun whenever, not necessarily when you need it or whatever, but you have the ability to use it earlier if you do need it. You're not always going to need it early. The problem with this is using the stun ability early doesn't actually impact as many fights as you think it does. There are 5 different Titan elements: fire, earth, water, as well as light and darkness. and there are 4 Titans in each element, which means that there is a very, very large amount of opportunities for different team compositions, and many of them include Nova, many of them do not. This whole situation was more of a problem whenever Light and Darkness Titans did not exist, whenever it was just Fire, Water, and Earth. But now that Light and Darkness is here, it's not that big a deal. And herein lies the problem. There are a large amount of defense varieties out there. Some of them will be impacted by a Nova with lower level, but most of them, the fight is going to end up exactly the same. If you take a look at Titans, the attacking team on the left, for example, here is an example of a team where a maxed Nova wins no matter what, right? And here's an example of a team with a maxed Nova on defense where they lose no matter what. Now, would it have made any difference at all if this Nova was lower level on either opportunity? It's really impossible to say, and you can't really track every permutation of Titan defense at every Titan level. You just can't do it. The data set would be way too large. I mean, I'm sure it's possible to search by Nova that's level 110 and all of that, and there are simulation software that will allow you to do that type of thing, I guess. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that it actually matters that much. Now, I want to show you the way to counter this stun ability if you're dealing with a Nova and you're having trouble with it. The main thing that you're going to do to counter her stun is to bring an Earth team with an Earth totem. The totem's ability to create a barrier will counter that stun. Well, I wait to use my totem until she rears back to use her ultimate. You're going to see it here in a second. There it is. You see it's charging up like that. That's my signal that she's about to use her stun. I throw up my totem barrier. It blocks it and actually reflects it back onto her, and that's how you win against water teams. Obviously, there's a ton of variety. If you take a look at the Hero Wars guide, Titan Brawl listing here, there are a ton of ways to kill. Let's see, what was that? That was a Nova Araji. Yeah, there's a bunch of ways to get a 100% win rate against Nova Araji lines like that. Or I guess it's these 4 right here. 4 water with Araji Super Titan. There are a good number of Titan permutations that'll get 100%, and an infinite number of other teams that will do almost as good, maybe like 90% or 87% or something like that, but only the 100% win rates are listed here. So should you level your Nova up? I personally, it is not impactful for me to have a max Nova. I am a Earth Titan specialist for my guild. Eventually, I will max my Nova out because I don't think that it really matters that much. I honestly do not think that the level 120 versus the level 100 matters. I think it used to matter whenever it was just Fire, Water, Earth, but it doesn't matter anymore. Not at all. Now, whenever it comes to the discussion about the event itself, the Winter Blade event with the shop, we're definitely going to have a big discussion about all of this during my live stream, the best buys and all of that. Spoiler alert, it's basically just Titan Skin Stones. It's these 2 items right here, actually. Titan Skin Stones, Essence of the Elements, and occasionally the Attack Seal because these are so hard to get anywhere else. But the Titan Skin Stones are a nice little buy because leveling up your Titan Skin right here improves this event, which gives you currency, which you can use to buy Titan Skin Stones to continue to level up your Titan's skins. Yeah, so we will be live streaming today discussing Nova and other Titan fighting. During that live stream, please spend some time with us this afternoon discussing Hero Wars. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.